Welcome back to the Crypto is Key conversation. We're going to jump straight into this content, making it as streamlined as possible. I got some real stuff that I want to cover at the end here with DAI that he put up with his kiddos that I think is pretty powerful, and it's going to show some significance as to why me personally I'm in this space and why I have high conviction within the crypto space in my portfolio. But we're going to touch on a few things real quick. So Binance had threw this up. It says, today marks the 8th anniversary since the Ethereum Genesis block, one of the most significant moments in crypto so far. Happy birthday to Ethereum. And then DAI says, on this day 8 years ago, Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin issued an illegal security and helped disguise well purchases. Nobody to this day has done anything to show who those disguised wells are, even though they could find out easily. The SEC and Gary Gensler have done nothing. The supposed good guys like Hester Pierce won't even bring it up. Jay Clayton and Bill Hemming have been asked about it 0 times by the media. Yeah, we've been seeing that. No one's addressing it. There has been no investigation talks being opened. I mean, I'd be very surprised if there was some sort of investigation that was open. I mean, there's probably, the people that, based on what we speculate, right? The people that are heavily involved, those people in positions of power in the government, if you will, or major corporations, a part of major businesses and out there, major banks, Wall Street, whatever. It could be even more powerful people than them that's involved in this whole thing. That's probably why something like that would never happen in regards of a true investigation behind it. But I think it's interesting though, man. Because I guarantee, man, if clearly they went after, Ripple the company, and they were going after, the early days of sales to, their the institutions and all that stuff. But it's like they're not even speaking on what we've been surfacing, which are facts. These are them in their own words, them on video documents. Like, they're not even speaking on it. They won't even address it. I mean, let alone they won't even tell you, on an interview whether Ethereum is a security or not. It's kind of crazy, man. But anyways, that's no shade on Ethereum. That's just the whole shady stuff behind it. We're talking about leveling the playing field, right? You got to keep it even across the industry. This brought up a conversation I wanted to have as well. XRP Crypto Whoop says, why is XRP below Ethereum and USDT market cap when it actually has regulatory clarity, unlike every other crypto? So there's been a lot of people speculating on Twitter, and I've been hearing it in videos and stuff as to like, man, what happened? And we won. XRP's declared not security. We haven't even passed $1. Like, what the heck's going on? So there's a lot of people speculating on, why that is. And I'm just going to say it up front. This is kind of how I feel. I've been in this space since late 2017. I say that a lot on the channel because it's significant. And been through all the ebbs and flows of, market cycles, been in, obviously XRP being one of my biggest in my portfolio. I've been a part of that whole suppression and it changing, my financial goals that I had for my boys and I and whatnot. The thing that I see at this point is it's just a waiting game. I truly believe that it's not an if, it's just a win. And that mentality that I take to my investing strategy and my time in this space has really helped me and carried me through and helped me stay level-headed throughout all the madness. And reading this stuff and hearing all the speculation, it's like, yeah, I understand. I feel that pain. Like, sometimes I'm like, dang, man, like, what's up? Like, let's get it going. But I do know that there is a day, just like we won, right? There's going to be a day to where this thing really takes off. And all of us that have, stuck it out, continue to accumulate, continue to hodl strong, are going to reap the reward for that. And I truly believe that. With that being said, I just go on about my day, build my other streams of revenue, if you will, try to, bring more income into my household and, continue to educate myself. Like I said in my previous video, went out and got my master's, looking to progress in my teaching career, do all these different things. In the meantime, while this thing's, kind of, as they say, coiling up. So it's just a matter of when, not if with this. But continuing on here, the reason why I brought that up is because Shannon Thorpe had put up this tweet here, and it's super long. I'm not going to read it. You can go in and read it if you like. She covered like all these different things, but I just wanted to touch on the bottom thing she said right here. So she was saying, now the part you all have been waiting for. My price prediction is anywhere from $100 to $500 near short term, 4 to 7 months. Why? It all boils down to LS. If XRP is $100 at a supply of say only 50 billion, that makes any LS or a 5 trillion, and at $500, this gives us an LS of $25 trillion. This gives us the market room to breathe, allows for growth, and ensures no one company needs to own billions of XRP to perform day-to-day operations. Now, how and when will this happen? How and when, for me, are tied together. It has always been what the creators have stated, quote, a flip of the switch. I say this as I believe there will and has been an evaluation for XRP like gold. This is how they will price you out. This is what I believe Rosie Rios meant when she stated the train has left the station. And this is how the governments control the next world of finance. I hope this ages well, with the laughing emoji. So there's a lot of people that's been speculating on this tweet. Some people saying, oh, influencers being influencers and this is crap, don't follow this. And there's other people that are praising this tweet. Quite honestly, I really don't have an opinion on it. People could say what they want. They can kind of bring out, all their facts and experiences from, whether they have financial background or whatever. People could say whatever they want. I'm going to take in as much as I possibly can, discard what I don't like, keep what I do like, and making sure that I'm staying level-headed within my strategy and my investments and, my financial goals. And that's just simply put, right? JV kind of responded to this, and he said, all of this sounds good, but we're all in this to make a little bit of money. When moon date, question mark. XRP summary judgment has came and went, and the price is still stuck. Didn't even break $1. So what's the hold up now? Which, I mean, that's a real question. So what? Just like what I was saying earlier, like, okay, what is it? For me, like I said, it's in a sense merely interesting. Just a matter of when this thing happens. Someone down here had something interesting to say. Crypto Famous says it's only legal clarity. We need regulations to really give banks and institutions the green light. So I think there's some merit to this, because in regards of the evidence and facts that are out there, that from my understanding, right, from what I hear from legal minds and people that are dialed into, research and all the technicals and all the connections between, the growth of Ripple and all this stuff, right? All the stuff that kind of goes over my head sometimes. I just kind of take what I can. But they talk about, flip of the switch and, continue to develop on the XRPL and, XRP's utility and use case and cross-border remittances and, all this stuff, right? The growth of Ripple. What if, this is just me speculating here, what if they still need more time? We speculated maybe the case was a part of that, that lull to allow them to continue to set up the whole, quote unquote infrastructure, right, to get this thing rolling. What if they just need more time? And that's just kind of where we're at until things really get going. And then something interesting about that too, like when we talk about us everyday retail investors, we're looking at, people are talking about when we break all time high, we go to $5, $10, $15. In the bigger picture, the billionaires out there, the people really, that understand the ins and outs of the technicals and this whole so-called new financial system that they're setting up, they're not even batting an eye at that. So I'm talking it from just like an everyday retail, hardworking, American standpoint. Like the prices that we're looking at, based on whatever your the amount you have and your investment strategy is or whatever, it's going to be merely interesting for them. So they can, in a sense, they got all the time in the world. You got people that are like, man, I need this to happen now. I want to pay off my house. I want to pay off my student loans. I got to pay for my kids' college or my kids' school, whatever the case is. So it's like, that's why a lot of people get so frustrated and there's so much high emotions going on in the community, because that's, in a sense, all those early days and these early price ranges that in the grand scheme are really interesting, but for us, they're massive, right? That's why they matter, and that's why it's so significant. But I think there's some legitness to this, and I said legitness because that's a funny video I've watched of a little kid that said it was funny. But yeah, there's some true. It's truly legit in regards of how people are speculating on the whole. Yeah, it has legal clarity, but it needs regulations for the trillions of dollars to really come in, right? So it's just a waiting game. Obviously, we have stuff going through. Bills, getting worked on, and we think we have good representation in regards to trying to make give some sort of framework or some sort of regulatory clarity in the entire space. Obviously, Ripple's victory was massive, but we still, just like JD says, the fight continues. It's not over. We got to keep fighting for the health and welfare and prosperity within this space. Yeah. All right, moving on. This fits into the same thing, right? Bearable Bull says they got aliens and UFO narratives, the Ukraine war accelerating, the Biden family under turmoil. There's a lot of weird things going on all at once. Why? Excuse me. What are they distracting us from? With the kind of with like the Honestly, this still ties into what we've been talking about, like what are the people in positions of power, what are the wealthy, obviously there's been a lot of tragic things that's happened, loss of lives and just crazy things, and I responded to this and I said there are a lot of strange things happening in today's world. I'm still under that same impression of like, my eyes are open, my ears are open, and I'm just kind of trying to stay as level headed as I possibly can, because I know when it comes to the media, the master narrative, and the powers that be, they tell you one thing, but they're doing something else. So he has a point here, like what are they distracting us from? And it could tie into this whole flip of the switch, or this, they need more time for, the development of the new financial system. Who knows? This is us speculating, but per history, even people that's been a part of a lot of different decades, and when it comes to investing and all that stuff, they talk about that. This is what they do. They kick out all this media and they try to herd, us sheep, if you will. That's what, that's how they see us. They try to herd us all one way, right? But they're doing something completely different. Reason why I'm throwing this up is you got to continue to educate yourself and stay engaged and stay involved and follow, thoughtful, educated, obviously we have legal minds in the space. Follow people that you see value in, and that, give you objective viewpoints and have some knowledge and experience for the things that we're experiencing, because it's going to help you stay level headed, and it's important. And all this is tying into the bigger theme of my video here. And this is this tweet here from DAI. I put some tweet on these. I think these are both his boys here. He said this is his 17-year-old and this is his, I think he's 10 or 11. Can't remember, but I'm so used to him saying my 9-year-old to draw you a picture, but he's older now. But it says, time flies. My big 17-year-old was playing Little League when I started my channel. He's about 6'4", 220 now. There's a good chance he'll be playing college baseball next year. Spend time with your kids. They are gone before you know it. So this really hit home with me. And I had responded to him and said, I feel this tough because I have 4 and 5-year-olds, and yeah, they're young. They're nothing like, obviously as of age of his kids, but I find it hard to deal with, especially looking back at like videos and, pictures of my boys, because I do a really good job of, I have like my boys' life like organized month by month when it comes to videos and pictures on an external hard drive, because I want to capture all that. That's something that I didn't have. Like I don't even have any baby pictures of myself. I don't even know what I looked like as a baby. I think the only thing as my youngest age, I think it was like 2 years old. But other than that, like there's nothing that exists. And, my mom passed, like my dad passed. I don't have anything. So I knew when I had kids that I wanted to really do a great job of capturing their life so they can look back at it and see every point of their life. I mean, I literally have remotely something from every day of their life. I tend to take a video or picture of doing something and I catalog it, by month and by year. So it's all organized. But to look back at that, man, sometimes I get emotional, man. And I'm just mind blown. Like, wow, man, I remember when, my oldest, man, he couldn't even talk, and we were worried about him not being able to talk. He had IEPs and all this work that he had to do. And then all of a sudden he's talking, and he, just like most kids, he doesn't stop talking. But no, it goes beyond that. Like he's way, above his age. And it's just mind blowing. And now they're playing all types of different sports. They're in gymnastics, t-ball, soccer, getting ready to play basketball, and then football next year. Like, and just to see their growth every year in sports, it's just like, wow, man, what happened? So when he said this, it really hit home with me. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I covered this in the video the other day. This gentleman right here at XRP, man, he was really vulnerable when he posted this. And he was talking about how he had a massive, a massive amount of XRP in his portfolio. And at the time we were at $1.87 in 2021. And he had almost $1 million in his portfolio, but just XRP alone, he had almost 900,000 and didn't take any profit, right? And shout out for him for even posting that. That is, super vulnerable, but super honest. And I think it's powerful and can really impact people's lives, because I'm impacted by it because I've experienced it myself. But to see someone else, post it at this significance as an amount, wow, that is, man, I felt, it felt good to not, I felt like I was dumb. And I was like, why? I'm the only dumb investor in the space. That's really how I felt at the time when I didn't take any profit. But like, there's people out there like me, man, that has a family that made that mistake, right? Won't make it again. But the long story I'm trying to say here is, it's stuff like this that matters. This is what really matters. And you got to decide what your why is. And I know for me, my boys are everything to me. And the father that I am, recently going through a separation from their mom and trying to get back on my feet because I resigned out as a firefighter and raised my kids full time for 4.5 years. Now get my teacher career going and stuff. Like, I had to do what I have to do to best suit their life and allows me to be there as much as possible. So that's why I took the path that I took. Now, when it comes to my investing strategy, my profit taking strategy, and being in this space, it means everything. So my whole thought process is, what do I have to do and what makes sense for me to change the financial course of my boys' lives? But more importantly, what's going to allow me to be there to spend time with my kids, to help coach my kids, to help develop my kids, to not miss anything that pertains to my kids, because that's what really matters in this life. And it's not about legacy for me. It's not about money or this or that. It's really just about being there for my boys. I didn't have a dad growing up. I know my dad, which I'm very fortunate to have known him, but my dad wasn't there. My mom was a single mom and she had her own problems. So really, like, I knew I wanted to be completely different from them. So everything that I'm doing now is to be better for my kids. And this is one way. And the reason why I'm putting this on here is because you got to decide what really is important for you. All this noise about when's it going to take off? We haven't passed $1. We got clarity. What's going on? Really take a deep breath, step back and realize it's not a matter of if, it's when it happens. And you got to be ready to execute for your own strategy. And I don't know, man. I just thought this was real, and I wanted to put this on there. Shout out, DAI, man, because this is what matters. This is huge, man, and nothing but the best for his kids. He sounds like he's done a great job all these years with his boy, and good luck to him. I played college football. I earned a scholarship, and had a lot of success in college, and there's a lot of fun times ahead for this gentleman here, man. But I'm just going to end there. I was going to say some more, but that's about it, man, because that's what's important. Make sure you take care of yourself out there. Like I always say, okay? Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.